Okay, we're going to begin with logging in. So first of all, you put in your email address, your password, and press login. This brings us to the home page of HEContracts, which is known as the dashboard. So let's begin at the top, and we'll look at this powerful search function that's built into HEContracts to navigate you around the system and get you very quickly to the agreement or piece of information you're looking to find. So you can enter whatever it is you're looking for. So let's say we're looking for HVLE, hit enter, and you get all the agreements or any documents, lots or suppliers listed in the system. And you can see it shows you here what type of result it's found for you. Now on this one at the bottom of the screen, it's showing us we have 18 result entries. So we can either scroll through those by maybe using the page numbers over here, or we can go up over here and we can choose to show more entries for the results. So we've now got all 18 results on one page. Now there's another way we can filter down as well. We can go back to our search and tell it rather than looking for everything, we only want to look for, say, agreements. As soon as you click on that, you can see that the screen is then filtered down to only 6 matching entries for us, and we can then click on any of the items that we want there, or we can press the view button and either will open up that agreement for us to have a look at. There's another little filter that we can tell you about here. This little search filter there searches within the results that you've currently got. So if I'm looking for the word X-ray, I can literally type in X-ray and you can see straight away you've got an immediate filter that will find exactly the result you're looking for. Right, let's go next to the main search, and you've got advanced search. If we click on that, this gives you some more criteria so you can search in different ways. So you can look at maybe managing consortia. So who owns the agreement that you want to look at? We could maybe look at a category. So you can look at any of the main categories. Let's choose catering and then hit the search button at the bottom. And there we go. And this has returned 1,753 entries. You can see that listed there. So you may well want to filter that down. So maybe if we go into that search box and we can type fruit, and you can see that's much more manageable now that we've got 18 results for us, and we can look at any of those lots, agreements or documents that may come up. And once again, click on the title or go across and click on the view button, and either of those will open up that agreement. Okay. Now moving across to the next button you see there on the main bar is the support button. If you click on that support button, this is where it will get help within the system. So you can either use the email address there, or we'll show you another function as well that you can actually use while you're going through. But if you wanted to send an email to us at the administration center, just click on that link there. So then we've got report a problem. So this one's visible wherever you are in the system, and it's intelligent to know exactly where you are, that it can pass that information to us when you send us the report. So we'll click on that button, and you can see at the top here, it will say what type of problem would you like to report. Is it a system problem, that something's not working right? Or is it a details problem, where details on an agreement may not be right and you've got a query? Underneath it will pre-populate all of your personalized details. So it will say your name, it'll have your email address and your phone number, so you can literally type in there whatever information you would like to send back to us at the control center. You then hit send report, and you'll get a confirmation at the bottom of the screen that that's been sent to us and we'll be back to you as soon as possible. The next button across is the log out button. So the log out button is there so that once you've finished with the system, you can literally log out. Okay, on to the next line. So this little home button here does exactly what you'd expect. When you hit that, it will take you back to that dashboard page within HEContracts. The next button from there is categories. So if we go on here, it's a drop down of the categories that are currently available in the system. So again, if we were to go into our catering category, you can see that it lists all of the agreements that are available, along with which consortium manages it, the start date and the end dates of those agreements. And you can jump to any of those by hitting the show button, and that will take you straight to that agreement. Where you see the plus sign over here, this means that that agreement will have lots. And if you wanted to have a look at those lots at this point, you can literally click on the plus, and you can see it will list out all of the lots that are part of that agreement. Clicking on any of those names will take you straight in to look at that agreement. The next button across is for reports. So this one has its own dashboard, and we actually have a video prepared just for reports as well. So we'll go into much more detail on that video there if you'd like to see that later on. The next item across is system messages. If you see that has a number 1 or more than 1 in there, that's us at the central control telling you that there may be a problem or an issue with the system. This might be a speed issue that we're being reported in on, or it could be that we're telling you of some maintenance that's going to take place either in the evening or the weekend, just so that you know that that's coming up. Moving across over here, this tells you who you're logged in as, so you're in as test end user at the moment, and if we click on that, it gives us the details of your user details. So if you wanted to change your telephone number, you can do that here. If you wanted to change your password, literally type in the password and then your confirmation of your password and then hit edit user, and that will do that straight away for you. So let's go back to the home page again, and we can show you the next bits on the screen. So this first section here has got 4 tabs running across the top. My Favourites, which will allow you to set in the system which agreements or lots that you use most frequently or you want to be updated on. Just like we had in the results for the searches, you can tell it how many entries you'd like to see on this main screen. And this will list all of your favourite agreements. You can see that I've got 8 favourite agreements at the moment. The second section along is My RFQs. RFQs meaning request for quotation. This will just tell you the status of all the RFQs that you have running in the system, if any. Again, there's a video that's specific to RFQs later on. My Custom Reports. So this is all part of the main reporting section that we mentioned earlier. And your custom reports here, this allows you to save reports that you've created and then run them just by pressing the button here so that you can get an export of that data anytime you need to. But again, that's covered heavily in the reports video. Our next tab along is recently viewed, and this literally gives you a list of the agreements that you've most recently viewed, so you could jump back into them just by clicking on the name, or again that show button at the end. So back to my favourites. The other thing you can do is you can sort these. Any of these headers, you can see they've got little sort buttons on them. Just touch on the agreement title and it will sort it A to Z or Z to A. You could sort by lot name, or you can sort by the start date or the end date, and it will put them in the order that you've asked for. Now over here, I've mentioned the show button before. This literally will view that agreement and let you see that. Next to it, you see next to a couple of them that you've got an orange update button. That's letting you know that since you last went in and looked at that agreement, the agreement manager has done something with that agreement. That could be an update to suppliers, an update to documents. When you click on the update button, it takes you straight to the update part of the agreement and will list exactly what's changed. Right, we'll move down the screen now and we see all agreements. So this will list every agreement that's in the system that you have access to. You can see that I've got 45 agreements that I can look at the moment. Just like in the favourites, we can sort these by start date. So we've now got the newest on top, or the end date, with the one that's going to end soonest, or we can click it again and we can get the one that's going to end most furthest away. Just like before, we've got the show button, and again we've got that update button next to it. So you can see that all of these agreements with the orange update button means that there's updates on there for me to have a look at. You can flick through the pages to have a look at whichever agreements you'd like, or again, just like before, you can change to show how many entries that you want to see on the screen. And again, you've got that powerful search function so that you can just type in there particular entries that you want to see. So we can type in bread, and you can see that there are 2 bread agreements within the system that we could have a look at. Okay, what we're going to do now is we're going to have a look at an agreement. So I'm going to type in recruit, because I want to look at this agreement here, and I'm going to click on the title and that will load that agreement. Now we cover agreements in another video, but just to let you know, this is how you make them a favourite. So to add those to the favourite list at the top of your screen, you click on the make favourite button and you can see that's now changed to remove from favourites if ever you wanted to take that back out. So now when I go back to the home page, we'll see that that agreement has now appeared in my favourites and I've now got 9 favourites to look to. Okay, so that concludes this video. Do have a look at the other videos which explain how different parts of the system works.